Happy Teachers Day to great Nigerian teachers and teachers all over the world. My sincere and earnest apologies for starting this meeting 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes after the scheduled time. It's not intentional, it's due to some exigencies beyond my ordinary human control. Please do bear with me and do participate keenly in this live session, which promises to be value-packed. So I'm Jacob Tewa Jijingi. I'm a trained teacher. I'm also a public administrator. By the special grace of God, the convener, Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association, NFTA. By the special grace of God again, this will be the first live session of our Facebook page. Isn't it great? Isn't it awesome that this coincides with Teachers Day of October 5th, 2024. So welcome specially to all the great Nigerian teachers that are here live. Special welcome to teachers all over the world. Welcome to page followers and all our group members. It's a pleasure to be with you, and I hope you feel the same way. So what's the Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association about? This is a digital platform to connect aspiring, serving, former and retired teachers with shared interest, needs, and goals from all pre-secondary, secondary, and post-secondary institutions of learning, and from the different segments of the larger society. So in summary, this is a platform to connect teachers at whatever cadre, from whichever institution, and whichever sector, public or private. Once we share our objectives, once you identify as a teacher with a passion to serve God and humanity, you are most welcome. The broader social media platforms that host our association and the date that a page or group was created on each of these platforms, I'll now state them here as follows. The Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association was created as a page on Facebook on the 9th day of May 2022 and currently has 1,131 followers. The association was created as a Facebook group on 4th February 2023 and currently has 237 members. The association was also created as a LinkedIn group in. Yes, there seems to be a network fluctuation there, but I'll go over it again. The Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association was also created as an Instagram profile account on 31st January 2023 and currently has 127 followers. Now here are the usernames and full names of the association on the different social media platforms. We have the username NFTA _2023 and the full name Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association on Instagram. That's on Instagram. We have the username Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association and the full name Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association NFTA, capital letters, for the Facebook page. That's for the Facebook page. We have both username and full name Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association NFTA, capital letters, for the Facebook group. Then we have both username and full name Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association NFTA, capital letters and in bracket, for the LinkedIn group. So do kindly search and follow us on these social media platforms to stay up to date with us and also collaborate on great events and opportunities. So that was just the preamble to our history and existence as an association. Now let's look at the full history of the association just briefly. Are we together? Awesome. Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association NFTA. A brief history of the journey so far as told by the convener, being myself. What is known today as the Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association NFTA first began as Nigeria PTA Teachers Forum NPTF. It was born out of altruistic personal concern that PTA employed teachers of secondary schools who were part of my ad hoc work team in 2021 had no recognized body or interactive forum to bring them together to discuss their common issues and articulate their common goals or aspirations. This was not so much my dream, but their dream, and they voiced it to me as such at an interactive meeting I had with them as serving NECO custodian officer on July 14, 2021 in Lesse Ushongo local government area of Benue State. Their previous attempts at a desirable forum failed as they had no strong rallying point to anchor those attempts. I empathized with them as a trained teacher who had previously been a PT employed teacher myself and offered to be the rallying point they needed. That's how the mantle of convener of the association naturally fell on me. I mobilized them into translating the dream to action and added vision to the dream. On July 26, 2021, I took the dream further by creating a WhatsApp group platform for them, and I initially added 5 members to the group. Group rules were formulated for the WhatsApp group platform and by extension other social media platforms on July 31st, 2021. Comrade Sam Fidelis under SAY suggested the first 4 rules, and Comrade Peter Ibu introduced the last. I carefully edited and posted to the group platform accordingly. On August 2nd, 2021, having already sought and obtained discretionary powers from members of forum on the WhatsApp group platform, I appointed Comrades Sam Fidelis under SAY, Peter Ibu, and Joseph Yende as mobilizer and co-mobilizers respectively to mobilize more potential members for a physical town meeting. The first full and physical town meeting of the forum, held under my moderation at the reputed private school in Lecce on August 12, 2021, with a total of 18 members in attendance. I had largely completed my official assignment at the time. The meeting elected a pioneer town ESCO and scripted some overall objectives of the forum as a parent branch, among other far-reaching decisions. I further discussed and fine-tuned the objectives of forum with the elected ESCO on August 14, 2021. I finally reviewed, added, and published to the WhatsApp group platform the said objectives, a total of 10, on August 19, 2021. That was just a day to my birthday. Together, we carefully crafted and fine-tuned what is now known as the 10 foundational objectives of the association. The 10 foundational objectives have undergone slight modifications over time based on overall changes to the scope and nature, as well as name of the association. A Benue WhatsApp group platform was also created for the Nascent Association on 1st day of October 2021. But it underwent a change of name from Benue PTA Teachers Forum to Nigeria PTA Teachers Forum on 1st day of October 2022, exactly a year later, to reflect its national outlook and disposition. It was finally renamed Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association, NFTA, on February 11, 2023, and that's the name it currently bears. A story also evolved out of the association's humble beginning in 2021 that has continued to fuel the drive for its survival, continuity, and success. After I had already put a leadership and management structure in place and departed, the structure itself could not survive my brief absence. But the ideals and brotherhood I had both championed and exemplified survived all. This is a story of 3 pioneer members of the association. The first of 3 pioneer members successfully recommended the transfer of a second member from being a classroom teacher in one of the city schools in Benue State to become a better paid classroom teacher in another school in faraway Delta State, where he himself, the first member, had previously taught before resigning honorably and returning home to settle with a wife and kids. Then the first member in question was successfully recommended by a third member for elevation from classroom teacher in one school to school head in another school in the same town, same year. The third member is still comfortable in his school presently and has rejected even juicy offers thrown at him from neighboring schools. This one story keeps me certain that the vision is working. Then most intending members ditched the association after completing their ad hoc work with me and achieving their short-term goals. But I see a bigger and better picture for them in the long run with this vision. So I hold on. Until recently, I've single-handedly created and administered digital group platforms that keep the association alive and going. From struggling to reach 20, we have passed 100 on LinkedIn and even on Facebook as well as Instagram. Again, from only PTA employed teachers of secondary schools to freelance teachers of both secondary and pre-secondary schools, membership of our association is now extended to include freelance teachers of post-secondary schools up to the university level. This is to both promote and enhance organic integration in the entire teaching profession. I so cherish and envisage a scenario where newly recruited, trained teachers enter the teaching profession via the pre-nursery and nursery classes of elementary school, then eventually move by recommendation, promotion, and appointment to the upper classes and schools, and finally the postgraduate school of the university. Nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Someone said that, and I adopt that powerful quote to represent the dynamic and powerful history of this association. Now, what are the 10 foundational objectives of this association? This is the part where I would love us to listen a lot more keenly. And if we have contributions, if we have suggestions, if we have requests for collaborations, we can also start dropping them as comments right away. So, the first objective, to bring together all interested freelance teachers of both public and private pre-secondary, secondary, and post-secondary schools. There's nothing more than togetherness. Unity, they say, is strength. And if anyone will want to stop you, they will stop the unity first and foremost. So it's important there is that unity. Once you identify as a teacher, there's no need to segregate, whether you're in public or private school, whether you're in nursery or in the university. And of course, I know there are teachers that started from the scratch. By starting from the scratch, I mean they started from nursery. Now they are not just teachers, they are not just lecturers. They are university professors, heads of departments, and deans of faculties. So this aligns completely with the vision of this association and is one objective we are daily pursuing, we are daily working at. As you can see in our post, in our adding of members and other activities online. Then the second objective is to advertise teaching job vacancies across schools, as well as other available job opportunities in education, agriculture, and other sectors of the economy to all register financially committed members. Okay? Yes, online membership is free, but we are hoping that with time, will be a full-fledged association that meets physically and conducts physical activities, and that is where the need for registration and all of that can come in. Of course, as we know, all professional associations have that you register, you show commitment, and then you support the programs of the association so they'll be successfully implemented. So we have not yet reached that registration stage because we are still in the formation stage. And at the formation stage, we are still very much active, pioneering every one of these objectives. So, one of the reasons we still talk about teaching job vacancies, some we mentioned, remember from the preamble, we mentioned aspiring teachers. There are those who are aspiring teachers, some are even stay in school. Okay, they are also welcome to be members of the association. And then some are graduates that are yet to be inducted into the teaching profession. So we post these teaching job vacancies primarily for such persons, right? Yes, and again, if you go to the private schools in particular, that is where my interest first was, because there is to a large extent disparity in salary, in welfare packages, in HR policies involving the different private schools. One school pays better than the other, and so on. So you have teachers that have the passion, but they are discouraged by the pay. You know, they are hanging where they are now just because they don't have an alternative. But if they have a better alternative, they will quickly move. And as they are moving, someone else will also want to come in to start at that level. So this is part of the vision of this association. In fact, we encourage members who are leaving to also provide, or rather facilitate, the process of someone coming in to replace them. Yes, we should build that kind of rapport at all levels with employers, with colleagues, with applicants, and so on. So this is not a trade union, it's an association. It's purely about mutual shared goals and interests. There's no goal that is antagonized. There's no interest that is antagonized here. All interests are harmonized. And I think this is one of the unique things that stand out this association. So like I say, you have teachers like that. Some are waiting to move to a better paying teaching job. Some want to move to an entirely new location. but they can't just do that except they have a job employment somewhere. Okay. And last but not the least, still on this objective number 2, there are what we call accidental teachers. We give them some credit. They finished school, they didn't want to stay jobless, they didn't want to stay idle, and they actually needed to feed and fend for themselves. So they decided that they should jump at the teaching job opportunity, which was what was available at the time, right? But then as time goes on, they continue to discover themselves. They discover they are not meant for the teaching profession. Just like others were aspiring to be medicine, engineering, and so on, they finally found themselves in the teaching profession where they rightly belong. So the Nigerian freelance, that word freelance means a lot here. It works towards that too. That teachers who are sure they don't belong to the teaching profession, that they are accidental teachers, once they have suitable job adverts, they can take advantage of them and begin to facilitate their transfer to their non-teaching career of their choice, right? Yes, and we mentioned job adverts here, but for the association it's deeper than that. Personally, I have a lot of school owners and managers, administrators in my network. Okay? If they call on me and ask me to recommend, that is based on trust. I can personally recommend someone who is a member of this association, that I have some knowledge of the person. So job recommendation is the much more powerful aspect here. And you heard it mentioned when the full history of this association was being read. Is that important? Because it's one of the strategies to keep teachers moving upwards from nursery till they reach up to the university level. My expectation is that the teacher that has moved from elementary school to college, he should have those in elementary school in mind, and he should possibly even recommend a certain teacher in elementary school you left behind, recommend them to your college principal, that this one can do well too. That way the one in elementary school will also move, and it should continue like that to the university. Those who were in the university, who were in college before they got to the university, they should have some teachers in college in mind. And this is one of the powerful philosophies, powerful ideas, and goals behind this association. That kind of organic integration, that kind of network, we're trying to build and solidify it in such a way that from nursery to university, teachers will be together, and they will also have some level of meaningful control of their destiny and their career, right? So that is it for that objective 2. I think it's another objective we have been recently working with. I mentioned the story of the 3 pioneer members. It's a classic example, okay? And personally, for those who are always with me, especially on WhatsApp, I always share whatever teaching or non-teaching job advert I come across. And I'm also open to school owners and managers that will call me from time to time and say, look, I need a reliable teacher for this subject in my school. Do you have someone in mind? And if you are here with me as a member, why not? I see your activities, your engagements and everything. I can easily recommend you that, yes, I know someone here who is good, right? Fine. So without wasting time, let's go to objective number 3. And which one is the objective number 3? To exchange, share, or adopt profitable school-based or school-run ideas and welfare programs that can also benefit the entire association and its registered financially committed members. Yes, this may look long grammatically, but in summary, this is what it's saying, that the different schools have their unique welfare programs for their teachers. So a forum like this enables us to exchange and enrich our knowledge of welfare packages that we could also design for teachers on the whole. Okay, so if school A has a program, welfare program, if we can adopt the entire program or an element of it, we can adopt it and then design our own welfare package. Okay, the same with school B, school C, and the rest. They all have welfare programs for their teachers. Okay, some includes take-home rice at the end of term or at the end of session, things like that. Okay, then you have some that involves even contributory savings, saving for food to be shared and stuff like that. So these are just examples, there are few examples of what this entails. So when you have people coming together from these different schools, different localities, different states, that's one of the advantages, that we can easily discuss welfare programs and also design a suitable welfare package for our members. Then objective number 4, to systematically source for resource persons of repute and organize seminars and workshops in order to upgrade the quality of teachers and teaching in the respective schools that have at least an ambassador or registered member with the association. Yeah, so when we talk of ambassador, a school having an ambassador, it means a teacher from that school is one of our members, and they have an advantage here. If we are to organize a seminar or workshop, we won't just be inviting the member from that school. We can invite the entire teachers of the school, with the management, of course, aware of it. If the management themselves like, they can liaise with the association and host the event, right? So that is, in a nutshell, that is the summary of what this is about. Seminars and workshops, training sessions, okay? And we can do this not just online, but also physically as well. Yes, online too, like we are here now. I could decide to come live, especially in the group, because I know that the group is mostly serving teachers that are there, and to some extent aspiring teachers. So if it's about a training session, I can decide to use the Facebook live feature of the group, not necessarily of the page, okay? And people that are there will participate in that training. So yes, we're yet to make much progress in that area, but it's on the list. It's our guide. This objective remains our proper guide of what to pursue and achieve as an association. So that's objective number 4. Objective number 5, to adopt and employ dialogue with such proximate bodies or filial groups like ANCOPs which is the Conference of School Principals, NAPS, which is Association of Proprietors, and Parents Teachers Association, PTA, in order to both champion and achieve the consolidation or harmonization of staff appointment and promotion policies, including issuance of appointment and promotion letters and staff ID cards, minimum wage implementation in line with the existing national minimum wage law, and uniform salary payment policies, dates, rates, increments, or upgrades for all categories of freelance teachers. So like I said at a point, this is not a trade union, it's an association. It's a forum, if you like, where we interact, where we discuss, and by the special grace of God, take actions for our individual and collective success and progress. So it's for the benefit of everybody, and we recognize all stakeholders equally. There's no relationship of antagonism here. The employers, the proprietors, the principals, and the parents, all of them are considered. That's why we speak of dialogue, because that is the only meaningful instrument that we can use here and pursue progress together with these stakeholders. I believe that's very clear. Yes, and we may still mention one or two things about this objective number 5 as we go on, because specifically you have issues there that we consider should be at the center of dialogue with those proximate or filial bodies. We say proximate or filial will mean there's some connection. In fact, there's supposed to be affection also. Proprietors, teachers, parents, students, there should be affection, not antagonism. That's why we say proximate or filial bodies. Okay? Then to talk of objective number 6, to write or visit financial institutions, including Central Bank of Nigeria, microfinance banks, contact influential individuals, and liaise with such existing proximate bodies or filial groups like ANCOPS, NAPS, PTA, in order to facilitate group and individual access to agricultural loans and such agricultural inputs like fertilizer, chemicals, and seedlings for the association and its registered financially committed members. So this is taking the interest of teachers beyond their teaching profession. Some are farmers, some are traders, some are into various other worthwhile ventures or initiatives. So if there are bodies we can write to or visit like that, we can do so, and this way translate to a lot of benefits for the teachers. So that is the summary of objective number 6. And we're yet to reach there, but I believe even among you, the followers, there's possibly 1 or 2 persons that can come on board and offer to collaborate to facilitate the execution, or better put, the achievement of this objective, the actualization of this objective, right? So, and I believe that is one of the reasons this live session is very important. As you are listening, you also know which of the objectives to key in, so that together we can start devising and pursuing more action plans. Okay. Objective number 7. to develop mentorship programs and attract free scholarships for all registered financially committed members. I think this too explains it a lot. So this is more a combination of both the teaching and non-teaching profession needs of the teacher. Okay? He or she needs mentorship. People that have been there before, or even though they're just coming up, they have their value packed. They have a lot to offer. Yes, and I've been doing that quite often, especially those on LinkedIn. There are a couple of teachers or thereabout that will drop a very important post, sharing an important experience or highlighting important points about the teaching profession. And I will quickly and gladly share to the group for other members to also digest. Okay? In fact, there are some teachers who are growing, whose pages are growing, that they know nothing about what I have done to promote them as well. And I still won't mention them by name, but it's part of what I do and part of what the association does to promote mentorship. Those people we should look up to, that should guide us because they're already leading by example. Okay? And this is not limited to online. We're also looking at situations where even physically we can be bringing mentors and mentees together, or rather do I say prospective mentors and mentees together. And then from there they will connect and continue to collaborate. Then you have teachers that want to further their academic program, they want to further their studies. And most of them, money is a challenge. So if there are individuals or institutions or groups that can offer them scholarship through this association, we can arrange that. Because as you know, there are people that may love to do that too, but they will not have the data and they will also not have the contacts. Okay? So part of what we do here, sometimes even online, we take scholarship offers that are going on and we publicize them on our platforms. So we're very much pursuing this, and it's one objective we should continue to pursue together and achieve together for good. Objective number 8: to establish mini libraries and e-libraries that will be specifically equipped and suited to meet the professional and integral development needs of teachers, at free subscription to registered financially committed members and at affordable subscription fee to others. Yes, so we're yet to reach there, but our hope is that at a point we will be able to have not just administrative offices, but also a facility like this, a physical library, and as part of that physical library, an e-library, okay, where if you are a member, you don't need to go and pay to access resources or read books and privileges like that. You just walk in as a member with your proper identity and you are attended to. So it's part of the vision. We're not yet there. We hope to get there very soon. Okay. Objective number 9, to initiate, champion, support, or contribute to state and national legislations that will especially benefit freelance teachers, as well as the generality of teachers, schools, and other educational stakeholders. Okay? So in summary, we can contribute to a discourse that will lead to a state or national legislation. And if we can sponsor a bill, we can do that too, okay? In the interest of all freelance teachers, whether you're in the public or private sector, you should be benefited by those laws. And that includes the minimum wage law. Yes. In fact, in that regard, it's not just private schools that are corporate. You have state governments that no matter what is decided as minimum wage, no matter how meager it is, they will further beat it down by half or even more. It's not good for teachers. It's not appreciative enough, especially given the immense foundational role which teachers play that benefits everyone for a lifetime. Okay? So, we're looking at all of this, and in fact, I am hoping we will continue to champion this from this point that we are having this session together. Okay? Let's begin to voice it out. There's the administrative side. You have private schools, most of them that don't issue appointment letters to their employed teachers. Yes, I know, because I am in a privileged position where sometimes you are doing ad hoc recruitment programs and teachers apply. And then you ask a private school teacher, where's your appointment letter? My school doesn't give appointment letter. Where's your ID? My school doesn't issue ID. I think that one is something that even the state and local governments should look into and enforce appropriately. Okay, the local inspectors that are inspecting schools, when you go there, ask every teacher for their appointment letter, ask them for their staff ID. Okay, and it's not limited to appointment letter and staff ID. You have the promotion. They should also be promoting teachers consistently, the same way it's done in the civil service. In fact, we should have some level of civil service orientation in the private schools as well. They should have issue appointment letters, promotion letters, and ID cards. And they should reflect accordingly. Whatever is supposed to be paid as minimum wage should be paid. And whatever should be added when one is promoted, I mean in terms of money, that should be added too. You know, this is where we are far behind, especially in the private schools. Yes, some private schools are doing well, and you may say it's because the school fees is huge. That might be true. But we need to commend them for paying more than even the federal government. I know there are very few private schools that will go out of their way and pay more than what the federal government is paying. I think I encourage that, and if I know such schools, or if they would feel like working with me, I'm very much open to that. If they need recommendation of good teachers to employ, I'll be very much available. And in fact, I'll be very happy to do that. You already know the reason, right? Because teachers need every motivation. And it's not limited to their salary alone. Even end of year programs, whatever you can do to motivate them, bring it on board. If a private school can decide I'm sponsoring my staff, let them go to a nearby university. After lesson, they go for, after lectures, they come for their lessons. And after lessons, they go back to lectures. You know, maybe after, you may just have some written agreement. After your education, you stay with us for 2 or 3 years. I think that will motivate a lot of teachers. Okay? So it's not even just about the legislations. Even schools can on their own take these initiatives and bring policies that will favor teachers. Okay? But where legislation is most certainly needed and must be emphasized, that PTA teachers, private school teachers, they should not be shortchanged whenever a minimum wage is negotiated and signed into law. They should not be shortchanged. They must be paid. And whoever is supposed to monitor the implementation, especially in the federal and state ministries of education, they should do that accordingly. Don't leave it to the proprietors. And this is where the challenge seems to be, because some of these proprietors are friends to politicians. Some of them are actually politicians, and they feel untouchable. They feel they can do just anything they want to. It's not right. Okay? And I believe the pressmen, the media, they should come in here to continue to beam such light on these people. When minimum wage, for instance, is passed, continue to monitor, call out even the schools that are yet to start implementing. You don't need magic to know whether a school has started paying or not. You know, you may meet a teacher, even if it's not inside school, he or she will boldly tell you that this is what they are paying me. I think journalists do need to sit up and do more there, because I have a feeling that even the mass media, the press, they have neglected us who are in the teaching profession in particular, and the education industry in general. They have virtually neglected us. Even the human rights activists, they will focus, okay, if let's say a random teacher, maybe 1 out of 1,000 is accused of rape, the media will come and carry it. What about the thousands of teachers who are daily making meaningful sacrifices for the progress and good of our children? Where is the fairness? Where is the justice? I think we all need to put teachers back at the center, and also make sure to crown it all. Quality state and national legislations are made to protect all teachers, especially those in the private schools. And I believe that point is well made. That's a conversation that, God willing, will still continue from time to time. And I believe you will want to be part of it. So last but not the least, we have objective number 10. To enact and execute through Congress, ESCO, and other organs of association, policies, projects, and programs that would be of positive impact and paramount importance to the entire association and its registered financially committed members. Yes, we're yet to get there. Like I said, I would personally love this association to come to a point where we're not only on the digital platforms, but we're very much on ground in terms of facilities and infrastructures, administrative structures, and everything. Yes, it's important to have an ESCO, it's important to have a Congress. Discussions like this will be much more elaborately discussed, articulated, pursued, achieved, implemented. Okay? So, it will be wonderful if we get there, but I need like-minded fellows like you are listening, you participating at this moment. Let's collaborate together. If you are not on our WhatsApp group and you want to be added, you can send a message. You can, even if it's a chat, you can drop your number there and ask to be added, and you'll be added. Okay? So that we'll continue this discussion. Always, it will not end today. Let it not be a once in a year thing or even a once in a lifetime thing. Let's continue the discussion. And let's also pursue the agenda, the teacher's agenda, to a logical conclusion. So there you have it, the history of the Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association and the objectives of the association. Yes, like it was mentioned in the flyer advertising this event, I'll talk briefly about my experience as a school child, as a teacher, and as a public administrator, all in the education industry. Sorry for that interruption from the network. Network has been very unstable. It has been disturbing since morning, but hopefully we'll have this discussion till the end. This is very important. It's very important that whenever policies are to be made in the education sector, we take into cognizance the experience of everyone in that sector, and especially the school child. So let me talk briefly about my first 3 years in elementary school as a school child. Once in a while, I do share this experience, and on good purpose, okay? When I started nursery 1, by the end of the first term, second term, third term, I would end up being the least 3, I will be among the least 3 academic performing pupils. Some of you will not believe it. I mean, out of 50 pupils, I'm among 48, 49, 50 position in academic performance. And when the result will get home, no, parents normally, they will look at the position first. Which position did he come in class? My dad and mom would look at discussion, they will shake their heads. The father is not dull, the mother is not dull. Where did this one get this one from? I was just a child. Sometimes I would act as if I didn't even hear what they were discussing. I would just run out. But they on their own found out that the name on the score sheet that was written to be my name was a completely strange name. And that's where the problem came, right? Because in nursery 1, school children don't know how to write. Okay? It is there that they are being steadily taught to start writing, but they don't yet know how to write. So much of the exam was done orally. And for the exam to be conducted, you need to take the register and call out students one by one. Call the first one, you ask the person question, and that's how you rate them too. So I happened to be in a class where I never knew when I was called upon to come for the oral exam. Most times you can predict I was playing. And one thing I can remember that time, sometimes a whip will just land on my back, maybe when I'm busy constructing and driving my own car on the desk. Okay? So, and my mom in particular will show up, say this is not the child's name, effect this. Surprisingly, the thing will show up in the next result sheet. So it's when I left Nursery 1, was promoted on trial to Nursery 2, that it was like I started, it's like that's when I started school. My second year in school, it's like that's when I started school. Because by then, my name was properly entered in the register. It continued up to Primary 1. Primary 1 was still struggling. Academically, I was still struggling, okay? Till Primary 2, that my position, my academic position in class started coming up. Now, fast forward to my first 3 years in college. First term of the first year, I came second position in class. Will you believe it? But even at that, my form master, Mr. Abba J.A. of blessed memory, he said, me, I'm very playful. So the class monitor, I was a class monitor my first term in school. Just coming in, I was the class monitor. He said, I play too much. He won't allow me to be class monitor again. He relieved me and made another person the class monitor. That was the guy that had confessed that term. I didn't understand what Mr. Abba did at that time, but my story changed. I came first. Apart from that first term in JSS, I came first every other term in my junior classes. Throughout, it's like winning the Premier League consistently. Okay, my first 3 years in college, apart from the first term, I came first throughout. I didn't know how suddenly I became so popular in school, among students, even among teachers. Then, when I finished secondary school, just before I would proceed to the university, my teaching career began. And I would teach up to when I graduated from the university, when I served. It was after I returned from service that I became trained as a teacher and enrolled for a professional diploma in education with Ahmadu Bello University, College of Education, Katsina campus. And I completed the program successfully to become a trained teacher, right? So, what made me effective even before I became a trained teacher? No, I had been teaching before I became a trained teacher. Yes, if there's anything that compensates for inexperience in life, it's what I call passion. Okay, apart from being born of teachers, that you can say, oh, the teaching gene runs in him. I don't believe that anyway. I had a passion in me. to impact as a teacher. I had passion for my school children, so it wasn't just the passion to come and express myself before them. It was passion for them individually. Every one of my students felt connected to me. So even if I was going to say something like I was just joking, they were going to catch it. And because I had that passion, I also used play as one of my teaching methods with them. So that I will act with them as if I'm playing. But I wasn't playing, no. I was teaching them. In fact, some of them, when I taught them about dance and I move my body like I'm dancing, they feel I'm playing. I said dance. And I will repeat the word dance. So you discover that sometimes on their own side they will be doing their body like that and be calling the word dance, dance, dance. And those have been powerful methods for me as a person. The play, more importantly, the demonstration. So remember I mentioned passion first. That is what was there first and foremost. Then the play, the demonstration. Of course, when I became a trained teacher, and I'm very glad I went for that training, I was able to confirm some of the things I already knew through experience. I was already into lesson planning and all that. Then there were also things I didn't originally know. For instance, I had thought that once you're a teacher, any method you are good with is okay. But coming to that level in particular, I discovered that there were subject-specific methods. Yeah, but to a large extent, I was already good. And that was what the program confirmed to me. Like when I taught French during service year, I had some good understanding of French, especially the literal aspect. Then I had good command of English. That good command of English was also an advantage because when you are teaching in an Anglophone country, you need to use some English. Okay, then I happened to serve in the north, in a state where English too was not well assimilated by most of the students, in a place where Hausa was a dominant language. So how did I cope teaching French? Okay, before I come back to that, I would love to give you a surprise. I taught French to the graduating JSS 3 class, we call them Basic 9 now, for just 3 weeks, because that was from the time I met them to the time they were going to write their basic education exam. That's their basic education certificate exam, basic. And when the result came out, because I was still around serving, just about to leave, when the results came out and they all came to check, none of them failed French. Even those who failed English had a credit in French. Okay, and that bothered me. I had to come back to arranging extra lessons in English too for them. That is for the other students. But back to the question, how did I become successful and effective in teaching them French? I wasn't good in Hausa. But remember I said I had some good experience in French and a good command of English. So when I went to class, in every class, JSS 1, JSS 2, JSS 3, I was able to spot at least 1, 2, 3 brilliant students. So anytime I was teaching a topic, like there was one brilliant chap, I called him Aliyu. he was just so good with English. And he was a Hausa boy as well. So anything I teach, I'll call it out in English. Now say, Aliyu, tell them that one in Hausa. Okay? So if what we were talking about is like the word come. Okay, no, come. Come, I will demonstrate it, they will get it. Remember, I told you demonstration has been part of my lifetime teaching experience. If I say come, viens ici, I will demonstrate it, okay? So words like that, they easily get it. But there were words I couldn't demonstrate. So I would say, Aliyu, you understand that word? You say yes. So tell them in Hausa. And they will quickly get it. They'll quickly get it. So, do you now get the secret? And all of them ended up passing French, even when they failed English. So, that's just my teaching experience in brief. There's a lot more I can say to that. Maybe another day, another time. Like I said in some of my posts across the social media platforms, I eventually transited to public administration, but in the same education industry. And I'm very much in touch with teachers. In fact, we have been together in that capacity, in that new role, for the past 10 years plus. Okay? And one thing I can say for free, if you can understand the psychology of students as a teacher, I think the same applies for the public administrator. A public administrator that has taught, if you understand the psychology of a student, you can in a way understand the psychology of a teacher. Remember, a teacher is like a role model to them. And sometimes the behavior is not different. If a student in school feels confident around the teacher, he always opens up to the teacher, even on very personal issues he or she may not tell the parents. The student will tell the teacher. So likewise, teachers, some of them that I was able to win their confidence, they feel free to talk to me about their every single issue, challenge, or concern. So sometimes I know a lot more than even an insider in the schools will know, because I'm able to win their trust. Okay? So this is important at all levels, just as it's important for a teacher to win the trust of his or her students. So a public administrator should also win the trust of his or her teachers. And I'm not just talking about the school principals and the rest. At whatever level you're operating in the education system, if you're working with teachers, be able to win their trust. And that will make your work easier too. Because if you are going to make impact, you have to have some knowledge of what goes on even in the schools. And you can't know if you don't have the confidence of teachers and students with you, if you don't win their trust. Okay? So, that is on the positive side. Now, I've also discovered that some teachers, the confidence is not there. And it's related in a way to what I've mentioned before. teachers have been dehumanized. I'm not even talking of the aspect of some parents shouting at teachers and stuff like that. No, I'm looking at where they are grossly underpaid, because the service the teacher gives, you cannot adequately reward it. Yet they are the least paid, especially in those in the private schools. That demoralizes a lot of them. Okay? That's why some of them are trying to leave the teaching profession. Even those that have that passion, some are like, it's not worth it. Okay? And that's where they have double the problem, because if you leave what you have passion for and what is truly your calling, you can never suit in any other place. God knows why He puts you there. But then the reality is they are being dehumanized. Okay, even those that are, because of that passion, they cannot think of giving up. They feel so dehumanized and they feel low, their esteem. They have low self-esteem issues. Okay? So there are things I cannot speak to give details, and because of the level of trust of teachers that confided them in me. But I have had cause to sit 2, 3, 4 teachers down and say, look, your students look up to you. Your level of confidence should come up. When you are anywhere you go, feel free, feel bold to express yourself, provided you are doing the right thing and you are saying the right thing. Because that is how your students too will be affected. If you have low self-esteem, you are indirectly teaching them low self-esteem. But if you have confidence, what are you teaching them? You are teaching them confidence. Okay? And believe me, it works. Some of them will thank me profusely. I'll say, what is the reality we are up with in the education industry is holistic. And that's why I'm sharing my personal experience at all these levels, as a school child, as a school teacher, as a public administrator in the education industry. So as we listen, my expectation is that everyone should know where they come in. Whether you are a teacher, you are education manager or administrator, whatever is your role, you should know it now. Hearing this story, where do you think you can come in? I'll be glad if we'll drop comments as well to show what we think or even what we know. Feel free to share. Remember, it's Teachers Day. It will give us cause to not only celebrate teachers, but also improve. Okay? Improve on how we treat teachers, and then teachers will also improve more on their input and output. I believe you agree with me on that. So what can we say in summary, and also for recommendations and conclusions? The Nigeria Freelance Teachers Association is for all Nigerian teachers, especially those who have vision for their personal growth and also for the development of teachers generally in their teaching profession. If you have the best interest of the school child at heart, this is the association for you. So any of our platforms that you can find, join us there. Already mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, and in our subsequent discussions I will still be talking about them. So join us. If you would love to be added to our WhatsApp platform, chat us, drop your WhatsApp number and ask specifically to be added to the WhatsApp group. We'll gladly do that. And like I always say, posting is not the prerogative of the convener or even the admins. If you have an experience to share, feel free. Build the confidence, like I said. Because the confidence is what you are also teaching to your children. And of course, with that confidence, you don't make much impact in life, anything at all. So feel free to share your own perspectives in any of these groups or any of these platforms. And all for good. We'll all benefit from that together. If your school is employing, if you're a school manager, you're also welcome to join because you taught like myself before coming to that level. Okay, provided you still have the interest of teachers at heart, you are free to join. Okay. So this is who we are and this is what we're about. We're not a trade union. And we don't aspire to be a trade union. We're an association. And we have our own strategies. We have our own instruments of action, policies that achieve results for us, that are already working for us. Okay? We have objectives we are pursuing. Everybody listening to this must have one or two of these objectives that he or she can align with and also collaborate to actualize. Right? So I'm personally expecting that you can begin to drop comments or even chats to let us know where you can come in and where we can all work together for good. It's the essence of this live session and this Teachers Day event that we are celebrating here today. So, I'm looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Once again, I'm wishing all our teaching colleagues in Nigeria, all over the world, a happy Teachers Day. And I'm also advocating in Nigeria, let us not just follow the International Day of Teachers. Let us have a Nigeria Teachers Day. Yes, I'm personally advocating for that. And that's a discussion we should continue to have here and on all our platforms. So once again, happy Teachers Day. Happy new month of October. And best wishes to you all. God bless you. See you next time. Bye.